Welcome to the Cast and Camo podcast, where we talk about hunting, fishing, and all things outdoors. Grab your fishing rod, put on your favorite camo, or just sit back and enjoy this week's topic. Cast and Camo begins now.
Good evening. Happy Sunday. Good evening, Eric.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
I am splendid.
Yeah? Did you have a great week?
Week or weekend?
Let me do the whole week.
That was terrible.
Terrible?
Yeah, it was a pretty awful week, but every day is another day, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly right.
And it was a nice weekend. I mean, the weather here has been good. So here's how I know I could never move south. Because I went outside to do some work yesterday, and I don't know, like 80, maybe 83. And I'm like, oh, get me to Canada. What's this heat? And I don't like heat. Over 65, I'm out. I don't want anything over 65 anymore. Does that just mean I'm old?
Yeah, it is. Now, Here's a question. Why do you got your winter clothes on today? Is it chilly?
I always have my vest on.
Oh, well, you can't wear in the summertime, you take more clothes off to meet the temperature. You don't add more.
It's not the first time you've asked me to take my clothes off, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last. But let's not do it while we're live, okay? It's a little uncomfortable. Make me feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's okay. We'll live.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a good weekend. I didn't get any fishing. We were going to go fishing yesterday, me and the fam.
Yeah.
And I'm in Florida because I looked at the forecast. I said, it's too windy. Can't fish.
What?
Yeah, it was too windy.
How windy was it?
Oh, it was over 20. It was over 20.
That's it.
What do you mean?
You're falling apart in your old age.
Well, I learned from all the Twitch fishermen in Florida. It's too windy, can't fish. And Texas, can't fish. Too many mosquitoes, too windy, too sunny, too hot. Just give me ice year round, man. I just want to ice fish all year round and go spearing on the ice all year round. That's all I want. I don't think it's too much to ask, is it?
No. You need to move to the Arctic or something.
It's my next move.
All right.
Alaska. I think Alaska's too warm. I got to go like as far up as I can in Canada.
You'd be there a month and you'd be ready to come home. You'd be like, give me Florida.
No offense to our guests tonight, but no, I'm not ever moving to Florida. I'll go to visit and I want to go there to fish, but I'm not moving to Florida. Yeah. You're about the age that you would start moving to Florida now. I'm still a good 20, 30 years away.
Perfect. I'm in the middle of the United States, so I'm good.
Okay.
I don't get very much of a winter. I get a little bit of snow, but I do enjoy it here.
Okay. All right. Well,
it does get hot.
We're pussyfooting around too much, so let's get into our normal housekeeping items. Let's talk about our sponsors. We are sponsored by Texas Select Seasonings. ! If you're in our chat, ! BBQ will give you the link to Texas Select Seasonings. Enter discount code CAST and CAMO in all caps to get your 15% off discount. I have not talked to, I talked to Wild Bill earlier this past week. He had a big birthday weekend. He took a couple days. See, this is what happens when you get old like you guys. It takes a few days after a hard weekend of drinking. to recover. So he's still, I think, recovering from that. But we have to get Pit Bully's winning out. And that's probably on me right now. I was waiting for Wild Bill to tell me what he wants me to do with the Canadian shipping, but I'm just going to send him Pit Bully's information. We're going to get the seasoning sent out. But I need more. I need to order some more. I need to find some time to order some more because I'm almost out. And I got to get some of that stuff that you talked about. What was it? The snake bite?
Yes.
I got to get some of that.
Yes. Rattlesnake dust.
Rattlesnake dust. That's what it was. Yes. Deer 30 right there in Kentucky where Eric is. That is another sponsor of ours. And it is that time. You're running out of time, but it's never too late. Go to Deer 30 ! Deer 30 in our chat. And by the way, everybody, we are live on Twitch under Cast and Camo every Sunday night. If you're watching later, if you want to be a part of the chat, come on in on not Twitch. Yes, Twitch. I was going to say Twitter, not Twitter. Nobody likes Twitter. Doesn't even exist anymore. Stupid Twitter. But Deer 30 Cast and Camo 24 to get what's that discount again, Eric?
24%.
24% off all of your deer food needs and minerals. They'll probably sell you a John Deere tractor so they can go get another one. I bet they would.
Yeah.
We got to get those jokers back on again too before the fall.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Eric's rocking the hat. Sea Arc Boats. We are sponsored by Sea Arc Boats! Sea Arc in chat to get their website. Check out their boats. I've been meaning to get to the dealership that's right down the road so I can go look at them in person because I still have yet to see one in person. And we haven't made it down to the manufacturing plant, but maybe we could drive to the manufacturing plant in Monticello, Arkansas, and then make not a U-turn, but a V or a Y and head down to the panhandle of Florida and go fishing with our captain that we're going to be talking to tonight. Never know. Last week we had Landon and Katie from Forest and Field Custom Cutlery. I am hoping they got some orders. I have been scouring places, Google Images, Pinterest. I want to find an idea for him to do for me. I'm gonna do the ice rod, and I want to get a knife because those were freaking awesome. They were awesome. So anyway, that was last week. Next week's kind of up in the air, everybody. It's the holiday. I may have to go camping, and I haven't talked to our guest that was scheduled. So we'll post something in the Discord, ! Discord. If you're not in our Discord, jump in there to get all the updates. But we'll figure it out. We may not do it. Uh-oh. Beak told me to get lost? That's not very nice. Oh, don't get lost on the roundabout. Yeah, okay. I'm not directionally challenged. That is possible. All right, so it's been going well the last handful of weeks, Eric. So I figured there's Luna. Everybody say hi to Luna. We're going to keep going with the live phone calls. So let's hop over to do our live phone calls. Everybody's been loving it, so we'll keep going with it. All right. It's that time. It's time for the phone calls. Let's see if we have any phone calls lined up. Ooh, looks like we have at least one phone call lined up. Here we go. There it is. All right. Welcome to Cast and Camo. You have reached Todd and Eric. Thank you, caller. Thank you. What's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my call. Longtime watcher and listener. First time caller. My name is, it's Betty.
Hold up. Betty. Okay. I'm going to put you on pause real quick, Betty. Eric, she had to think about that a little bit. I'm not sure who this is yet.
I don't know. That voice sounds familiar to me.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay, Betty. What's on your mind? Why'd you call?
I was just wondering when Jim Bortz will be back on as a guest. Will it be soon?
Okay. So Betty, aka Sarah, calling to ask when Jim Bortz is going to be back on the show. We all know Jim Bortz is her favorite guest. This is not Betty. It's Sarah, right? Eric, it's got to be Sarah, right?
It definitely 100%. I think it is.
Sarah, give it up.
What? Who's Sarah? No, I'm Jackie.
Wait, Jackie? You just said Betty. So, okay, so this has to be Sarah because first it was I'm Betty, and now it's I'm Jackie, and she's asking about Jim Bortz. Sarah, it's Sarah.
Fine, it is Sarah. But for real, when will Daddy Bortz be back on as a guest?
When will Daddy Bortz be back on as a guest? You know, Sarah, we'll try. We're trying. Jim is a very busy man. As a matter of fact, he was just out. We were just talking about it last week. He went out on his bear hunt. It did not go very well. He got pretty sick. As a matter of fact, I think he almost got lifelined out of the woods. He was in pretty bad shape. But Jim Bortz, Jim Bortz is like one of a kind. So he sucked it up and hiked his ass out of the forest and made it back in time while on the deathbed. So yeah, I don't know. He's been not feeling well, Sarah.
Oh my, I could make him feel better.
Oh, I think over the last number of months, you've made it very clear that you could make Jim Bortz feel better. I'm sure, but by that you mean bringing him soup and making sure he's hydrated with some electrolytes. I get it. So we'll try, Sarah. He's very busy. He's got hunts. He's got painting to do. He's a famous guy. You know, we got to get the time with him when we can, right, Eric?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Yep. But, Sarah, thanks for calling in and asking about Jim Bortz, or as we call him, Daddy Bortz.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad he's feeling better. I look forward to seeing him again soon.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. Have a great night. See, executive producer, it looks like we have another call coming in. There it is. This one doesn't have a name on it. We'll see what it's about. Good evening. Welcome to Cast and Camo. You have called Todd and Eric. How can we help you tonight?
Yeah, hi. I wanted to call in and confess to something bad that I did to Eric, and now I feel really bad about it.
Call in to confess about something bad that you did to Eric. I'm going to put you on caller. I don't have a name for you, so I'm going to put you on hold. Eric, do you have any enemies?
Well, yeah, I've got a couple.
You do?
Yes.
So, do you recognize the voice?
No, I don't recognize the voice.
Okay. Well, let's take him off hold. Caller, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I got a call a week ago or so from some high-pitched voice that told me to just call him the Tick Father. He paid me handsomely to make sure I burned his skin.
Whoa! The Tick Father called this guy. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold again, caller. Holy cow, Eric. This tick is your arch nemesis right now. If anybody has an arch nemesis, it's the Tick for you right now.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Well, he got me again. Did I tell you yet?
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. But let's look. I don't want to keep this guy on hold.
Oh, I'd hold him on hold all night long.
Well, let's see. He wants to apologize. He said he felt bad about something he did to you. Let's find out. All right, caller. What exactly is what are we trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, Eric's skin. Tick Father
Eric's
said,
skin.
make him burn, make him hurt. Then he gave some evil laugh and said, gotcha, bish. I mean, times are tough, man. He paid me a lot and rent keeps going up, so I have to do what I have to do, man.
Yeah. I mean, if you got paid, look, the Tick Father calls, you answer. And when the Tick Father pays you, even though Eric's my friend and I don't want him to burn, I'm assuming who we're talking to because you're pretty sunburned, aren't you?
Yes,
yeah.
Very.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we're talking to the sun. Son, is this you, son?
Yeah, it's the sun. Anyway, I just wanted to call in and apologize to Eric. I hope there are no hard feelings. I can't promise to not burn you in the future since you are old and senile and stubborn and won't wear protection.
No. Wow.
I can't disagree. Old, senile, and stubborn. That pretty much sums you up. right? And you don't wear protection, sunscreen. Let's clarify. Let's clarify. All right. So I'm curious. Are you curious? Because I'm curious what the tick father paid him, Eric.
Well, I would like to know, though.
Yeah, I'd like to know what the ransom is for your burning of the skin. So let caller or son, that's the son. Tell us, what exactly did the tick father pay you?
5 solar panels and 1 foot pick of Joker.
Oh, 1 foot pick of Joker. Well, I mean, that settles it. I mean, obviously the 5 solar panels would be good. But if somebody throws in a foot pick of Joker, you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. I get it. Eric, do you accept the son's apology for burning? You don't.
No. Never will.
Never will. Someday, maybe. We'll,
friend of the tick is not a friend of mine.
Well, he was just the messenger. He got paid. Well, son, I'm sorry it didn't work out tonight for you, but thanks for calling. We appreciate the attention.
Thanks. See you boys on the sunny side.
All right, see you on the sunny side. All right, looks like we have one more call on the line. There it is. That was interesting. All right, caller, you have reached Cass and Camo. How can we help you tonight? Caller.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, he did it again. The tick father. The tick father. A dial tone. He just wants to torture you. He just wants to torture you. I apologize for the tick. He got you again. You know.
Well, I want to know what Joker's doing in the back room. What's Joker allowing these phone calls to come through for?
Well, I don't really think he's doing a whole lot of anything. I don't think he's really screening the calls very well. I think he is screening them, but he thinks it's funny to let the tick call in every week and say, "Gotcha, bitch."
Yeah.
And then hangs up. Yeah, Beak's right. We may need a new executive producer. I slipping a little bit, or $20 is $20.
Well,
he might be getting paid underneath the table to let these calls in by the tick father.
He could be.
There must be that. Maybe that's how the son got paid with a foot pick of Joker's, because Joker gave it to the tick father to give to the son. I think Joker's behind all of this. You ever think of that?
He could be.
He sent, how many more ticks did he send after you this week? 2?
Well, I got 2 more. Yeah, 2 more this past week.
Can you get extra Lyme disease?
Yes.
You can. Well, you're fucked.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, now I'm on medication again, and I just finished the medication like 6 days ago.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you trust the tick. You cross the tick father. Cross the tick father.
Well, I wouldn't have got the ticks if I would have stayed out of Joker's area. Because I went to Joker's area to go fishing for carp the other day, and that's exactly where I got them.
By Joker's area, what exactly do you mean?
Illinois.
Oh.
He told me he owns the whole state of Illinois. It doesn't matter where you go. That's his area.
I gotcha. All right.
It's kind of like Buzzard with Minnesota.
True. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, we've kept our guest waiting way too long already. She's probably, I haven't even looked. She's probably like rolling her eyes. She's probably falling asleep already.
She's sleeping. I can see her. She's sound asleep.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring in our guest. Let's switch over to that screen. One quick second. All right. Katie Joe Davis, Captain. We're going to call her Captain because she said before the show she loves when people just call her Captain. She's kind of like Madonna in that way. It's Captain Katie Joe Davis. Welcome to the show, Katie. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How has your weekend been? You've been busy. You were painting, you're moving, you're doing all sorts of stuff.
Everything but fishing. Yes. Actually, we had Florida weather. You know, it couldn't make up its mind, and some pretty crazy tornadoes came through just north of us, and some rain, lots of wind. So, I'm actually moving, in the middle of moving. So I had a lot of painting to do. Yeah.
I was hoping that you were going to have paint all over again today.
I do not. I scrubbed it really hard. I probably have some somewhere, on the back of my arm where you normally would miss it, but that's all right.
You can't paint without getting paint somewhere that stays there for at least a week.
I can't.
That's why I don't paint. Unless it's a canvas, but I don't paint walls. I can't. I end up punching them, and then it's ugly. All right, so Katie, give us a background, just a little bit of a background of kind of who you are, where you came from, how you got into what you're into now, and kind of explain your business a little bit, and then we'll go into the details after your intro.
Okay, so my name's Captain Katie Jo Davis. I actually guide out of Crystal River, Florida, home of the manatees. That's what we're most well known for. So that's kind of what we tell everybody about it. We're located about an hour north of Tampa on Florida's Nature Coast. So I grew up here. It's called Citrus County. Some of us call it Circus County because it can be entertaining at times. But I grew up here fishing with my dad. He was a commercial mullet fisherman with gill nets. And so we were gill net fishermen up until the early 90s when they shut it down. After that, we just kind of fished for fun, did a lot of family fishing. Although he did end up with his captain's license, he never really had the itch to guide people. He just took his friends and family out fishing. Yeah. So I am a female disabled veteran. I served in the U.S. Army for 6 years. So I left here. Yes, sir. I left here for about 10 years. Went to college, graduated college after that. Pointless at this point in my life. Useless, absolutely useless. And so after being gone for about 10 years, I decided I wanted to move back here. And and I started fishing, and I've been guiding full-time now for 4 years. So best decision I ever made.
That's awesome. What was your experience like getting that captain's license? Like, how long did it take? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Did it suck? Was it a pain in the ass?
Not really. Getting the captain's license wasn't that difficult. You learn your mapping systems and different things like that, your lights, because it's not just for guiding. You have to know how to drive a cruise ship if you needed to, if that was the job you wanted to choose, or pilot a boat in down the Mississippi River. So your captain's license does include everything. More so a little bit about driving a smaller boat, I guess. But a couple of things I took away from it was tides, what side of a hurricane you want to be on, so that it's not as dangerous.
The middle? The center?
Yeah, the center.
You want to be, you don't want to be in Florida or on the coast, turns out.
Yeah.
You want to be in Kentucky.
That's right.
You know what Minnesota doesn't have? Hurricanes. Or stars.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't that hard. It was, I think it's a 3-week course, pretty intense. You go all night for 6 hours, and then you do the weekends, and then you actually do a few extra days to get your master's captain's license, which then you can carry over 6 passengers legally. So.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this is what you wanted to do.
What's that?
This is what you wanted to do.
Guiding?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I had a couple different plans when I first started, but it turns out that fishing is my thing. So.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, before I started guiding full time, I was actually selling fully remote fly-in fishing out of northern Manitoba, Canada, and at a big 5-star lodge up there. So I was doing that 4 days a week, and then the other 3 days a week I was out on the water. There's a lot to learn. You have to do your homework before you take people out for money. So,
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you gotta learn.
My plan's foiled.
I mean, you can still take their money. They just may not come back.
This is true. So right now, you are like, do you change locations for where you're fishing based on what time of year it is, or are you just in that river system all the time, or what is that? How does that work?
So I change locations. However, you're talking maybe a 30-minute difference drive. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I typically I use Crystal River as my home base just because it's the most well-known area when you talk about it to people. But I actually fish out of Yankeetown, which is such a small town. We don't have a grocery store. We don't have a red light. All we have is 2 marinas and a boat ramp, and a 4-way stop. So, but launching from Yankeetown, as soon as you cross over the river, you're in Crystal River again. So it's all kind of the same general area.
Sure. And Eric, you knew where Yankeetown was, right? When I brought it up earlier?
Yes.
So
Really?
you've actually heard of it.
Yeah, I heard of it. As soon as he said, I've been to Yankeetown, but it was by accident how we got there. Yeah, it's one way in, one way out to go into Yankeetown.
And don't blink.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's very pretty here, though. It's definitely old Florida. I get a lot of people from Tampa, St. Pete, that area that come up and fish here with me just to get away from the everyday hustle and bustle, all the boats, and they don't really want to fish docks. They'd rather go out, fish mangroves, fish the estuaries, oyster bars, where you're out, you might see 3 boats a day. You know, it's a lot different than fishing kind of further south of here where there's boats everywhere. So
Right. Now, one of the things that intrigued me about you is you're not just a fishing charter captain. You offer other options. And I kind of want to talk about all of them, but just so everybody is aware. And by the way, she is the Redfish Princess. And if you !princess in chat, we'll bring you to her link to her website. Check it out. I want to plug that a few times. !princess. And we'll have the link up in our website after the show and on YouTube. But not only does Captain Katie Jo Davis do fishing charters, she does scalloping and eco tours, correct?
yes.
Awesome. All right. So I kind of want to break it down by all 3 categories, starting with the fishing, can kind of continue with the fishing. What is your favorite fish to target, both personally and on a charter?
So my favorite new fish over probably the last 2 years that I've really kind of specialized in and learned how to catch, especially on my own. And if you Google it, it says you cannot catch these on the line. And that would be the hogfish.
What the hell is a hogfish?
I actually wear the necklace.
Really?
It's actually a wrasse. And they are mostly well known down in the Keys and certain areas for spearfishing. They say that in the majority of the people that I talk to about hogfish, they say they've never caught one on the line. So that is a huge market for me. You do have to go out a little ways, anywhere from 6 to about 30 miles out, depending on the time of the year, to target these fish. They eat at certain times, typically during slack tide. But they are probably one of the best tasting saltwater fish there is.
Really?
Yes. I eat them raw. As a matter of fact, I don't even eat fish anymore cooked. I only eat hogfish and triple tail raw. That's it. They're very good.
Raw.
Raw?
Yeah, I mean, what are you making, like a sushi out of it or what?
I just when I fillet them, I slice them up, kind of the same size you would get a piece of tuna on top of a sushi roll. I get them nice and chilled in the freezer, and then I mix up my wasabi and soy sauce and dip my little piece of hogfish in there and eat it. It's amazing. My 9-year-old son even eats it. He loves it.
Oh my!
I'm not a sushi guy, but that sounds like something I would at least try.
Right.
Do you eat sushi, Eric?
No.
Yeah. Would you eat that?
No. No.
Really?
No. It's like eating a pickle. Same thing. No. Not gonna happen.
I would try it. I trust. I trust. If it's that good, I mean, saltwater fish is so far superior tasting to freshwater. I would have no choice to try it. So, when you're chartering, what is typically your target species? Is it or your goal? Is it, hey, I've got people that are paying me, I have to put them on fish. If that means we're going to go catch 150 black sea bass, that's what it means. Or do you tailor it to who you have on the boat with you, or how? Walk us through that a little bit.
Okay. So I will say that my business, at first, when I first started guiding, it was kind of a targeted species type thing. But turns out that kind of takes a lot of the fun out of fishing for me, especially when you have people on the boat. The majority of the people on my boat are folks from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Maine. And they don't have a whole lot of experience with casting into specific spots, like underneath a mangrove or onto a rocky point where you have to be precise, otherwise it ends up squirrel fishing, right? You're going to catch a tree. So for me, my business model has definitely changed to, we fish for whatever bites, but we fish for whatever bites that people can eat. So a typical inshore fishing day, you're looking at your redfish or red drum, black drum, flounder, mangrove snapper, snook,
cobia.
Oh, and sea trout. So those are your typical species that people really want to eat. But I know you really want to catch a shark.
Hell yeah. So, I want to catch a shark.
So if you want to go catch a shark, I can definitely take you. So for us guides here, shark fishing's kind of, that would probably be an easy day for us. Yeah. You know, oh, somebody wants to catch a shark? All right, we're going to grab a box of chum. We're going to get some live bait. We're going to go out. We know where sharks hang out. It's saltwater. They're actually everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
So let's go catch some sharks. We can do that. But yeah, so that's typically what I guess that's what I aim to catch, is good eating game fish. And then that's on the inshore side of it, which is, let's say, up to 4 miles out, which you're still in 6 feet of water. And then my nearshore side of it, which is up to 35 miles out, you're in 50 feet of water. It's still very shallow, but then you're looking for your hogfish, your mangrove snapper, your gag grouper, your grunt, cobia.
Cobia. Now we're talking. Nobody wants to catch grunts.
Why?
Aren't they just tiny?
Yeah, but it's all on light tackle. It's nothing. I mean, you're talking 15-pound braid with 30-pound leader on a little 5,000 Shimano rod. I mean, I use my inshore rod and reels for this.
I gotcha.
So you're going to catch grunts, but at the same spot, you're going to catch all those other fish I just named, including the gag grouper, which will give you a run for your money, trying to get them in the boat on a light rod.
Yeah. Any grouper. You guys have the Goliaths out there on your side? I know they have them in the south and on the east side.
Oh, yeah. There's Goliaths. Definitely Goliath grouper out here. I've caught, when I first started guiding, I think it was my second month in, we were cobia fishing on a shrimp boat wreck, and we caught about a 400-pounder in 12 feet of water.
Wow.
Okay. So that's my other bucket list item, is just make the trifecta. If you can make this happen, and I'm sure you can because you're an expert, cobia all in one day, probably even like a 4-hour charter, cobia, shark, Goliath, and I'm good.
But isn't the west coast side of Florida, isn't that what they call the burial grounds of the shark? Because they find all kind of teeth all down around Venice, along the beaches and all that. Oh yeah.
There's shark teeth in our freshwater rivers that are now landlocked or dam locked, I guess. So you can, one of the rivers that I do my eco tours on is the Rainbow River. It's probably one of the most pristine rivers left in Florida. You're not allowed to have any trash, any plastic, anything that you could throw away, no alcohol on that river. but because of that, it's absolutely beautiful. But there's a lot of artifacts, shark's teeth on that, in that crystal clear, pristine river. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I found tons of shark teeth from down around Venice, walking on the beaches down there.
My foot's caught. My foot's caught. Cut it off. So is that Goliath? Is that the biggest fish? Was it? Did you catch it, or was it somebody on your charter that caught it?
No, it was two young bass fishermen.
Oh.
They never caught anything like this in their life.
They're no longer bass fishermen, by the way.
Probably not.
No, they're not.
I don't know. Those bass fishermen, man, they don't give that up easily.
No.
Is that the biggest fish you've had up to your boat, caught? What's the biggest fish you personally have caught?
Here in Florida, or I fish Venice, Louisiana a lot. I go there at least once a year. I fish the International Women's Fishing Association tournament down there. And last year, my biggest red drum ever was the 45.5-inch red drum. Here, my biggest snook is, oh boy, it's at least 40 inches. I don't remember that one.
Okay.
So I've caught a lot of big fish. On the daily, we catch 25 to 40 pound black drum here.
Oh, wow.
Which is about a 10-minute fight.
Yeah. Stingrays? What?
All the stingrays you want.
Oh, they're the
you
worst.
You might as well add catfish into this. Some hardheads and sailcats into your list here.
Eric wants catfish. Eric said earlier that on in Yankeetown there are some of the biggest flatheads in the world.
No, I did not.
I don't think so.
The Okeechobee River system, whole different ball game.
How far is that?
Probably what, 100 miles, 120 miles north.
Okay, so it's not like get in the boat, we're gonna go to the Okeechobee. No, not Okeechobee. Chattahoochee.
No. Yeah, Chattahoochee.
It's so good they made a song about it.
This is the Withlacoochee.
Withlacoochee?
Yes.
With my coochie.
No.
And we have a Washlacoochee in Yankeetown.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
My buddy, he wanted to name his guide service Coochie Charters. I said no. No.
So now that we are on the subject of coochie, as Katie and I were talking yesterday, we were just talking, and I don't even know how it got brought up. Oh, because we were talking about some of our previous guests, and you were a bodybuilder at one point, correct, in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got talking about survivalists and how we had their survival instructor on, and we got to talking about Naked and Afraid, and we came up with this brilliant idea that we're actually, Eric, you're out. You're not a partner in this business, but it's going to be Naked and Fishing. So the brand new idea is Katie is going to be out chartering Naked and Fishing, and I'm sure Sea-Ark is going to want to sponsor this as the TV show on the Outdoor Channel. I think it's a great idea. Now, I do have a question. Since you're a licensed captain, can you technically, legally be naked on your boat if you're 30 miles out in international waters? Is that legal even?
Well, 30 miles out of here is not international waters.
Well, we're going to pretend like it is.
Federal waters.
Okay. So it's not legal then, probably.
I don't know.
Wait, I thought you were going to have all the research done by today.
I was thinking more like a 3-day excursion on an island.
Oh,
survive. But yeah.
See, I was like, naked charters. I think you'd make a killing. As if you don't already. You're already booked for like 19 years. So I don't think we'd need to do that. But I think it would be a good show. I think it'd be an interesting show. I mean, they do Naked and Afraid, so there has to be a market for it. Like I said yesterday, I'm surprised they're not doing something like that already. So that's not in your future then? That's
I don't know. I'll consider it. I will consider it.
Well, Eric, she didn't say no. She didn't say no.
Poor girl. Would you quit scaring her?
I just want to make some money. I think it's a moneymaker. That's all. I just think it's a moneymaker. Okay, so
I just seen something really bad in my head when Joker said that right there, and it just doesn't.
Oh,
it's not
Joker
good.
talking about how he did the nude thing. Yeah. So the Tick father paid the son to sunburn his white ass too, I guess. So for your fishing charters, what makes you unique and different from other people? Why should somebody pick you?
Yikes. I didn't know you were going to ask this question.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can go on to a different one.
So I guess, well, I'm pretty. I'm just the guys on my boat say, well, I'd rather look at you all day than Captain Joe over there, you know? So that's probably number one, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. We have a lot of fun. All right. And like I said earlier about targeting species and things like that, I feel like a lot of times it takes the fun out of it. That's why I don't really do a lot of tournament fishing. I fish a couple tournaments a year. That's it. Because you're chasing a specific fish and you can catch 150 fish that are not the tournament fish. And you're not enjoying yourself because you're mad that you're catching fish. So for me, you know, the business model that I've come to have now, we just go catch fish, and I work really, really hard to go catch fish. I try to tailor things if we have kids on the boat. You know, kids, especially up until about 17, 18, they start they're not really taking fishing very serious, and you want them to have the best experience. You want them to catch a lot of fish, because then they're going to learn to love it. You go out, you try to target a specific species, they catch 1, 2, 3 fish, they're never going to love it. You know, they're like, yeah, I don't really want to do this. I'd rather play my video games or whatever they do. But so that's kind of where I'm at. I guess people like me. That's what I tell everybody.
I can tell you. Oh, go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
No, I was going to ask you. So just real quick, what is the least amount of hours and what's the most amount of hours you do?
So I run 4-hour trips and I run 6-hour trips. It's considered a half day and a full day.
There's no like overnight during the night fish or anything. Do you ever do any of them?
No, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Okay. Honestly, I'm a mom, and and I like my sleep, but I can get what I need to get done in a 4-hour trip. And it is Florida, so the majority of my 4-hour trips are done during the summertime hours. It's just way too hot for a lot of people, especially those from Minnesota, to be out there for 6 hours a day. They might melt and come dressed in a vest and turtleneck, and so they can really only handle 4 hours.
That's why I ask about the nighttime, because I know a couple of charters I've been on, they offered the nighttime so you weren't out in the sun all day like that.
He picked up on it. Anyway, she was just ripping on me. Did you
sorry about
that? She's a smart ass.
She's pretty good.
Yeah. And which is what I was going to say, like, because I've called plenty of charters to try to book a charter for this, that, or the other. And sometimes you just get that feeling. And from the first time I messaged you, I was like, oh, this chick's going to be fun. She's a lot of fun. And the few times that we've talked, I'm like, yeah. So if I were to call you, and it would be a no-brainer for me. It would be like, this is going to be a fun trip, 1,000%. So without even really knowing you or having been on your charter, I could tell it would be a good day. Definitely.
Well, thank you.
Even though you just made fun of me and said I was going to melt. I accept your apology.
But yeah, no, the nighttime thing, I've been nighttime fishing myself. It's really hard to cast. You have to be in specific locations, especially depending on the fish that you're fishing for. You're not out just casting any random open areas.
Right.
The majority of the time you're casting up to the mangroves, you're casting up to islands, you're casting up to oyster bars, and I don't know, I can't see to cast. So it'd be very difficult to know where your bait lands and that kind of thing. But there are some guides down here. What they do is they actually do gigging at night, or they do bow fishing. And so if you ever want to do some bow fishing, I can certainly, you can spend a couple days and do that as well. They bow fish stingrays, actually, and then they eat them. It tastes like chicken.
No, it doesn't. No, stop lying. I've heard stingray is absolutely horrendous.
I'm not eating it.
No, I've heard it's absolutely awful.
The new trend is eating pufferfish.
Pufferfish.
So, yeah, the Chinese.
Wait, aren't those poisonous?
Yeah, the Chinese slowly having an influence on our saltwater anglers down here, and they are now eating pufferfish.
Oh.
Do you want to catch one of those too, Todd?
No.
No?
I mean,
it blows up.
Yeah, I think when the one time when I fished out of Fort Myers, I think we did catch one, and I stayed a good arm length plus away, because I thought they were completely poisonous.
No, the ones in Florida are not poisonous, actually.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not eating it though. No,
You gotta kiss it though, Todd, when you catch it.
No, have you seen those? They're not even teeth. It's like a beak, man.
It's all right though. You can kiss it. You gotta kiss the fish in Florida when you catch them.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That thing will bite your lip off.
No, it won't.
And then you're gonna look like one of those millennials with the split tongue. And
No,
little
you're gonna be all right.
No.
You'll be all right.
I'll make you do it.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so that was fishing. I joked. I'm going to say the joke because yesterday I don't think Katie really appreciated it or got the joke. I'm not even sure. But I said, well, we're going to talk about your clam. And I actually meant scalloping. So I had mixed up the words yesterday when we were talking. So I apologize. But I would love to talk about the scalloping trips that you do. I didn't know anything like this existed. Please enlighten us on what scalloping is.
So scalloping is actually, we call it an underwater Easter egg hunt for adults or kids, but we call it underwater Easter egg hunt. So you're literally snorkeling with a snorkel fin and mask on top of crystal clear water. It's salt water, but it's all crystal clear over grass beds. And you're anywhere from 2 to 6 feet of water, and you're just floating. And you're looking down for what we call the scallop. It's a bay scallop. It's not your large sea scallops that you'd get up north. These are smaller bay scallops, but they have rows of eyes on both shells, and they look just like the Shell gas station symbol. That's a scallop shell.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you're looking for. It's probably the size of your palm.
And you can eat those.
Oh, yeah. Well, you want to eat the muscle inside. Yes, that's what you're eating.
See, and I set myself up for everybody making fun of me. But this is why I want to have people on as guests so we can talk about this, because I'm ignorant. I live under a rock. No, the oysters have the pearls, right? So there's inside these shells, it's just a muscle? There's nothing else in there? Or?
Yeah, there's a muscle, there's digestive system, there's 2 rows of eyes. So you clean that out, and then you just eat the white muscle. An oyster's a little different. An oyster, you eat the whole thing.
Yeah, you just swallow it.
No, you don't want to eat the whole thing of a scallop.
But
it's fishy.
Can you? Do people it's like those, what do they call them, mud bugs? The crawdads, the crawfish, people just suck it right out?
I used to have a pet crawfish. He was huge, but he died.
Oh, did you use it for bait then?
No, I buried him. I was really sad. I can't use my pets for bait. That's terrible.
I mean,
Todd.
Terrible.
Bait. Is it not?
Not him. He was nice. I had to teach him not to bite me. You know how you teach a crawfish not to bite you?
No, how do you do it?
You stick his tail in ice cold water every time he tries to bite you, and or pinch you, and then it teaches them not to do it. Animals are they're animals. You can train animals.
So you literally trained this crawfish to not bite you or anybody?
Well, nobody else held it because I don't want to bite them, but he did not bite me. He did not bite me.
Interesting.
Well, because people get scared, they drop him, and then he'll die. That's not how he died, though. I think he just died of old age.
How old was the crawfish?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? When did you get it? How long did you have it?
Oh, I had him for a year. I had him since last scallop season. So scallop season is July 1st to September 24th here. And I got him in the beginning of scallop season. So he was probably I had him for about 8 months. But he was really big. He was a very large one. So he may have been old already.
So it didn't grow big in your captivity. It was already big.
No, he grew.
Oh,
they have exoskeletons that they shed, and then they eat their own skeleton. It's weird.
So you know,
He was probably as old as Joker and Ozzy.
Probably. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, people eat their brains and suck their heads out and stuff.
I want to talk about your crawfish. What was his or her name?
Oh, shoot. Hold on, I forget now.
What? You were all offended that I suggested you used it as bait and you don't even remember the name?
No, I don't remember his name. Anyway, I have a video of him on my social media and stuff, but I don't remember his name now. I have pet fish. I don't even know their names. I have dogs. I know their names.
I mean, hey, that's a step. Yeah, that's a win. We're going on in the right direction. I say we call him Albert.
Albert?
Yeah, Albert. That work? I think that's a good name. Okay, so I've got goggles and a snorkel on, and I'm floating down this river, and I'm looking down at the riverbed. It's grassy, and I'm looking for these scallops.
Mm-hmm.
What else could I see and could I find?
So it's actually not the river. You're in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're out in the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
So what else can you find? You can find starfish.
Can you keep those?
No, you don't want to because they'll just die and stink, and you don't really want to kill those. You'll see sea turtles.
But could you take a starfish and put it in like a tank?
Well, I don't know because it'd have to be a saltwater tank, and I don't know. I don't know. I probably wouldn't take it.
Okay.
And then sea turtles. I did find seahorses.
Oh shit.
2 scallop seasons ago. I found 2. Which they mate for life. So if you ever find them, you never want to take them out of the water. You never want to move them. You can come stand up because it's shallow. You stand up. You can show your friends and whoever, but then you have to put them right back into the water because they mate. They mate for life. And if you take them too far away, they'll never find their mate again. They'll die lonely.
Well, that's awful.
It is.
Eric, will you be my mate for life?
No. You're gonna die lonely.
Fine.
Yeah, lots of fish. You see all kinds of fish. Sharks. There are sharks in the Gulf of Mexico.
Like I suppose we're talking black tips, reef sharks, bull sharks,
tigers. Yeah.
And you want me floating in the water with just goggles? I can't outrun a tiger shark. Have you had any close encounters, like dangerous close encounters with the tiger shark with somebody that you have taken out?
So this past season, last year, I had a swimmer on my boat. That means she goes and swims. She helps find the scallops. She helps teach people how to look for what to look for when scalloping. she was out swimming and she swam back to the boat and she says, "Come here, come here." She whispers to me and I say, "What's up?" She's like, "There was a shark right over there and I just swam right back to the boat." She's like, "Don't tell anybody." But 9 times out of 10, they just swim by. They're not gonna. We had one attack 2 years ago, about 2.5, 3 hours north of us. But there's a lot of different stories to that, and I guess they might have been cleaning fish or fishing while people are swimming for scallops, which you don't really want to do that kind of stuff because it does attract sharks.
Yeah, well, yeah, that blood scent, of course.
But don't worry, when you're scalloping, we're not the only boat out there. On opening week and every weekend during scallop season, there's at least 5,000 boats out there.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. And then on opening weekend, which is always July 1st all the way through the 4th and all that, July 4th and all of that, there's every bit of 10,000 to 12,000 boats out there. It literally looks like its own New York City of boats.
Just scalloping. Are they
all scalloping?
Really?
Yeah, so your chances of getting bit by a shark are like winning the lottery. If you get bit, you might as well go play the lottery.
Oh, either way, if I do this, and I'm going to do it with Eric, and I'm going to keep him on my left-hand side, and I'm going to get a special wetsuit that says "Eat him," and it's going to have a finger pointing that way. I'll feel a lot safer. Is that okay with you, Eric?
No.
Well, you're older. You've lived a life. I think it would be naturally. It should be you that the shark eats rather than me.
Well, they'll probably eat the slower swimmer anyway.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
That's Todd.
No. You ever heard of Michael Phelps?
Did you not hear him say that he can't move very fast? He's old, he's slow, he never gets out of the house. At least I get out of the house every day.
Have you seen my Vex Kwando?
Don't start.
My roundhouse kick?
Please don't. Don't.
Okay. So now that Eric brought it up, we have to ask you the question. There's a long kind of debate that we've had on my channel for 1.5 years, 2 years now. And the scenario is, and I'll give you, you don't have to answer. I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you had to be in a UFC cage match with any animal, land animal, and all you have is like a 12-inch hunting knife, what is the biggest animal you think you could win against in a cage fight?
Me?
Yeah.
A lion?
Damn!
What?
A lion? See? I like her.
Say, I picked a squirrel or a chipmunk. All right?
They're too fast.
Todd, you know what? Cage, eventually I'll catch him. Eventually. You're in a cage, eventually I'll catch the squirrel or the chipmunk. But Todd...
Yeah.
Guess what he picked? Go ahead, Todd. Tell her.
A walrus.
A what?
A walrus.
A walrus?
Why is that funny?
He's going to get this shit kicked out of him. It's just a matter of time.
She picked a lion.
What? I think I could take a lion.
You could take a lion. I like the confidence. See, I have the same confidence about a walrus, but everybody teases me.
Yeah, but you put your muscles up to her muscles, and I bet her muscles beat your muscles.
Of course they do. I've seen pictures of her bodybuilding.
Okay, well,
mine goes down. See that? Yeah. They go down. It's down. There it is. Hers go up. She's got big muscles. I wouldn't fuck with Katie Joe. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I know. Did you notice that his knife blade went from 8 to 10? Now it's 12 inches. He keeps growing his blade. He'll get there eventually.
You're just jealous because Katie's going to take out a lion. I'm going to take out a walrus, and you're going to be running around in a circle trying to catch a squirrel.
I just want to see the walrus kick the crap out of you. That's all you do.
I know. Scalloping. Back to scalloping. Jellyfish? You see jellyfish?
Sometimes you'll see jellyfish.
No.
They're kind of more I think it depends on the year. We didn't have any last year. You have cone jellies, which cone jellies are nice jellies because they don't have tentacles, so you can actually pick them up.
Oh, really?
But Yes, and you can touch them; they won't hurt you. But I think since I've been doing this, well, my whole life, I think I've only really ran into a couple seasons where we had jellyfish galore, but it doesn't happen very often. Yeah.
Do you pick them up from underneath or from the top?
The cone jellies, it doesn't matter. Yeah. They don't have tentacles, so you can pick them up you just scoop them up, and there's millions of them.
Oh, so they're like tiny?
Yeah, and you can't see them.
So if you step on a jellyfish, is it true what you're supposed to do to get rid of the sting?
Pee on your buddy? Yeah. You should definitely pee on your
buddy. Do they teach you that in captain school?
No.
What? Just out of curiosity, then, what do they say, or do they say nothing about like a jellyfish sting? If you're captaining and you have somebody get stung by jellyfish, do you know what to do?
You got to pee on them.
No, I don't think that's really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I'm not letting you pee on me, Eric. I'm not letting you. Again, you've asked me to take my clothes off again. You're asking me to let you pee on me. It's not happening.
I mean, you can pee on yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest. If I got stung by a big jellyfish, I probably would piss myself. You just feel the zzz, and next thing you know, it's like being electrocuted.
Did you just make a zizzing sound like a bee?
No,
have you ever been around a jellyfish?
Huh?
A jellyfish doesn't do that to you.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean? I've watched Finding Nemo. I see what jellyfish do. They
No. It actually feels more like kind of a rug burn than a zap. You're not going to be electrocuted by the jellyfish.
Oh.
It's all right. He thinks it's an electric eel. It's okay.
No, those I wouldn't even get near, and they don't have electric eels there. I'm just saying that to make myself feel better. Snakes? Do you see water snakes or anything when you're doing the scalloping?
No water snakes.
Okay, that's good. Oh, because I want to do the scalloping. I really do. I think it would be super interesting, because you're getting to see, like, when I'm. And I shared with Katie earlier today, I shared some of my ice spearing videos. And to me, the scalloping kind of seems like what ice spearing would be in the winter in Minnesota, when you're sitting on the ice looking down a big giant hole in the ice, and all you see is the bottom of the lake and the water and the plants, and you just see fish in their natural habitat. And for me, for this ice spearing, that is probably one of the coolest parts of it for me, is just watching the fish and watching the habitat. And I wouldn't want to go scuba diving. And this isn't scuba diving. This is just snorkel, and you're just kind of right on the top and looking down.
Yeah, this doesn't take that much skill, and you don't have to be certified to do it. You literally just put on a snorkel mask and some fins, and you just float on top of the water.
See,
a little bit of a swim, but there's
give people like those like clamp arms, like those black things with the little claw at the end and with the trigger to like pick them up.
No, you have to grab them with your hands because they do swim.
Wait, what?
You just grab it with your hand.
They swim?
Oh, they swim backwards, and you have to. Yeah, so you have to be pretty fast about it.
You just said this doesn't take any skill. Now you're kind of changing tunes a little bit.
It's like picking up something. This isn't a skill. Grabbing something with your hand. I mean, we teach that when we're 9 months old, right? Grab it with your hand.
Hey, I got to ask you a question real quick, Katie. Real easy. Have you ever caught a channel cat or a bullhead catfish before when you was in Louisiana?
No, I have not. I've never fished for them.
So you've never caught a catfish?
I catch saltwater catfish and
do you use a glove to pick them up?
No, I actually have a tool that flips them right off. So you never even have to bring them in the boat. Because I got stung by one about a month ago. And Whew, thank goodness it was at the end of my trip.
Yeah. See?
Ooh.
See, Eric?
No, I used to grab him by hand to take him off the hook. But I have a really good friend named Jason up in Georgia. And he invented this tool called the J Flipper that has a handle with a rope and it floats if you drop it in the water and it just flips everything right off. So that way you don't understand. You have people on the boat who like to fling these catfish around. Look what I got! All right, this thing's flying by your face. No. Just leave it outside the boat. Oh, yeah.
Yo, scorpion fish. Have you ever caught a scorpion fish?
No, I've never had. No.
Lionfish?
What is it?
Lionfish?
Yes, I caught a lionfish 100 miles out of here.
Nice.
It was in about 145 feet of water.
That's so cool. I wish I could do that. I just go to a lake and 7 feet deep with weeds and look for pike.
Somebody did see one. I saw it posted on social media here like 3 days ago. It was because, like I said, all our water is crystal clear where we scallop. And somebody did see one and take a photo of it near our scalloping area just a couple days ago. That's the first one I've ever seen in shallow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't figure it out, I'm trying to gauge how close to death I might come if I do the scalloping. No.
You're not.
You're not going to die.
Eric, you going to hold my hand?
No, you're not going to die. Come on, Todd. It's not that rough.
It's the freaking ocean.
I don't care.
No, this is different. It's the Gulf and it's estuary and it's shallow. I'll have my 9-year-old swim right next to you the whole time.
Okay.
He will protect you.
Okay. I'm in. I got my buddy. You got to find your own buddy now, Eric. I got my buddy set up.
His name's Fish, by the way.
Okay. I've got my fish buddy.
There
You
you
have
go.
to find your own.
It's all right. I'll go by myself. Then I'll be more safer. Then I don't have to worry about getting drowned by you pulling me under.
Yeah, well, that probably would be legit. Trying to look down my shirt, or what are you doing?
No. I can't see on your shirt.
All right, so eco tours. We've got fishing, we've got scalloping, and then we've got eco tours. Tell us about eco tours. Because it sounds like, is it like a dinner cruise?
No, you're not getting dinner. Unless you bring your own, you can eat it. So eco tours, typically they're 3-hour river trips, and I like to do those on the Rainbow River. That's the river I was talking about earlier. If you Google Rainbow River, it's a spring-fed river. Actually, all of the water in plastic bottles that you'd buy from Walmart or anywhere those places, that's where the water comes out of. That they put into those water bottles. The Great Value water, they all come out of Rainbow River, Silver Springs, which are very, very similar rivers, and they're not too far apart. Anyway, what's really cool about the Rainbow River is that there's springs throughout. So as you're riding on the boat, you're looking down in this crystal clear water, and it's amazing. You can dive down, see how far into the spring you can go if you want. There's a couple little areas that have these, it's like a small waist deep creek that's spring fed. It's maybe as wide as a car or a boat, and you can walk down that. It's all, again, crystal clear water with small springs throughout. So that's what we talk about. When we talk about the history, we talk about, there's the teeth. The shark's teeth are there. A very good friend of mine found mastodon teeth and almost like the entire skull. And they're just by standing in a sandy area where a spring is, digging with his feet. That's all he can just sit there and dig with his feet. And when he found something, he'd have his mask on. He would dive, swim down, grab it. And that's how he found a lot of arrowheads, a lot of different artifacts in that river. So
that's freaking awesome.
Yes. And like I said, it's probably the most pristine river left in Florida because you're not allowed to have trash or anything like that on there.
Do you do combo trips?
I do scalloping and fishing combo trips. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. There's no trifecta. You can't do one of each. You could in one day, though.
I do it in one day. I do a lot of scalloping fishing trips. We go out, we scallop, or we go out fish first and then go scallop. Yes, I do a lot of combo trips. Like I said, that season is July 1st to September 24th. Typically, I finish up scalloping around September 1st because the water temperature starts to drop. And I don't like to get in it if it's 84 degrees or below because I'm from Florida and I'll freeze.
Yeah. I can't wait to take her ice fishing. It's going to be so much fun.
As long as we don't have to jump in the water. But what's really cool is the Rainbow River is 72 degrees year round. So, because that's spring fed. So, in the wintertime, it's 72. In the summertime, it's 72.
Mm-hmm. Sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, I dropped your link in our chat again. fishcrystalriverflorida.com. How far booked out are you right now?
So,
completely booked?
Well, I'm booked up until middle of July right now. But July I run 2 trips a day. I only run 4-hour trips in July. Or I'll do a combo fish scallop combo trip. And then that's about it. And then August starts opening back up. Of course, it's still nice and warm then. And then September we have our gag grouper season, which is pretty popular for a lot of people. Pulling 24 to 32 inch gag grouper out of 30 feet of water. It's probably the craziest fight of your life. Because I would say the craziest 20 seconds of your life because you got to pull fast and hard. And otherwise they rock themselves. But our fishing here is really, so it's good year round. Honestly, everybody always says, what's your favorite month to fish or when's your favorite time to fish? For me, it's when it's not blowing 12 mile an hour and above, or it's not raining. So that's but other than that, you're able to really target fish, different species year round.
So if I said I'm coming down in December and it's going to be 65 degrees, you're not going to want to go out?
Oh, we're going out.
Sweet.
Yes. I want to go catch hogfish. We're going to catch hogfish in December. Hogfish are cool.
Yes, I'm in. Let's book it. Eric, you gonna hold my hand?
No.
You gonna come with?
Oh.
Come on.
No. Listen, I'm not going down there with you. I'll go by myself and leave you here.
No.
Yeah, because you're gonna pull me in. You're gonna drown me.
No, we're seahorses. We mate for life. You're my mate.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take a jellyfish home. It's gonna be my just like in Carolina. It's gonna be my emotional support jellyfish. And we're gonna get a pair of seahorses, and I'm gonna have my emotional support seahorses and jellyfish. And then I'm gonna go to wash my coochie, and I don't know. I've lost it.
Yes, you have.
When I first saw the eco tours, I pictured you like standing in the bow of the boat with a microphone saying, and over here on the left, we've got this. And over here on the right, we've got this.
Really? No.
Yeah. No.
No.
Will I learn anything?
I don't need a microphone. I can just say it as we cruise through. I mean, no microphone. We have those here, but you might be the youngest. You might be the youngest guy on there.
Me, she's talking to me, not you, Eric. You're going to be.
No, I was talking to Eric.
Oh. Yeah, she's talking to me.
Oh,
you just stay out, Todd.
Okay. How big is your boat?
It's a 22-foot boat, and it's actually manufactured right here where I live, which is very nice. It's It's all customized. It drives itself. Drives all by itself. I don't even have to drive the boat. So captain's license pointless, And so, and then, but it's got all the bells and whistles on it. It's got the radar. I run XM weather, everything for safety features for running offshore. It seats 4 comfortably. But when it comes to scalloping, I can put 6 people on there. Just because we're not really in the boat the whole time we're out swimming. So, but 4 people fishing is usually best.
So if you have, do you book 2 people? I suppose it's whatever.
Yeah.
But do you match strangers up? Like if you have 2 and there's another 2, do you put them together?
Not usually.
Right?
Not usually. I don't do that. Yeah, because it just. Yeah, I mean, that could turn pretty bad sometimes because you never know who you're getting on the boat. And,
correct.
But I do fish a lot of fishing clubs. So because Florida is a retirement state, and a lot of people from Minnesota come down here to live. We have these large communities all over. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Villages, but we have the Villages. That's like the largest, fastest growing city, I think, in the U.S. right now. But we also have a bunch of smaller subdivisions, and what they do is they put these fishing clubs together. They create these fishing clubs from anywhere from 50 to 300 members in these clubs, and they book dates with me, typically Monday through Friday, which is nice. And they'll put 4 people together from their club. They'll put their dates out. They'll have their 4 people sign up, and then they're really the ones. And I think I have 5 of those clubs. So they fish with me because of the boat. It's so comfortable. Well, I say that, but anyway. So that would be probably the only way I would put strangers together. Other than that, trying to coordinate, one drops out, well, then now the other person's responsible for the whole boat, or they have to cancel now. It gets very messy.
Yep. So we did have one question in our chat for you, and the question came from one of the callers at the beginning. I know you couldn't hear the calls, but Sarah Sox asked, can she take me on a charter to just pet manatees?
Well, you can't legally pet manatees. You can swim with them, but I'm probably not the best person for that. You have to wear a wetsuit, and in order to do all of that, you would have to have multiple size wetsuits, and it's just a whole nother business aspect that I don't really want to get into. Plus, there's probably 53 manatee tour companies, so if you really want one, to go on one, I can certainly recommend a couple of the best that I personally go on with my son and my kids. But yeah, I can't legally take you to pet one. No.
But you could take her to see them.
See them, yes. Yeah. I can take you to see them, yes.
They are freaking adorable. They're adorable. I want to see them. I've seen one. I was in Naples. I saw one.
Oh, I see a lot. We have a lot in our river. A lot of mom and babies swimming, and then if you go and then a little bit further south, Increst River, that's where the clear water is. Your best time to do that is during manatee season, which is like November 15th to March 15th.
Okay.
But really like January, February, when it's 30 degrees outside and you have to jump in the water to swim with them, that's your best time to see them. Because they have to come into those springs in order to stay alive. Because they're mammals. If they stay out in the Gulf, which again, that water in there stays 72. On the outside in the Gulf, it might be 58. So they won't survive. So
can't have that.
No. Those types of trips you go with strangers too. Like they'll book 6 people for their boats.
Sure.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
So when's the best time to come down and trout fish for sea trout?
Oh gosh, we're catching so much sea trout right now. It's crazy. January, February, March, April, May. Okay. And then back probably late September, October, November, December. Right. Yeah, so really you can catch them year round. They just move because they're so finicky, and they have to move to stay alive. Like they cannot be too hot, too cold. That's probably the hardest fish to stay on top of as far as large schools go, because they'll literally move from 4 feet of water to 8 feet of water because that water temperature is a difference of 2 degrees. And if they don't do that, they'll be very lethargic. They may not survive. But our sea trout population is pretty incredible. You're not going to catch, you might get lucky to catch like some 22 inchers, 23 inchers. But here, there's not a whole lot of big gator trout that a lot of people look for. And quite honestly, to catch them, take those big trout out, take a picture and release them is really detrimental to them. Those are big females carrying millions of eggs. And so you really don't even want to take those fish out of the water. Again, it's so hard for them to survive.
Sure.
So.
Well, thanks for making me feel guilty.
It's okay.
It's kind of funny because when I went down to Carolina last spring and we went for red drum and trout, and as I'm catching these trout, they're like, it was like a sizable fish. But when coming from the Midwest, when I think saltwater fishing, I'm thinking big fish. So when I'm catching a 28-inch trout, I'm going, yeah, it's a nice fish. And my buddy's like, you don't understand. That's all you've caught. Like, I was 26 to 29-inch trout all day long. And he's like, his jaw's dropping. He's like, you don't understand how big, like, we don't ever get a day where we catch 15, 28-inch trout. And we just did that. It was crazy. And I had no idea. I had no idea that those were big fish.
Absolutely they are. Mm-hmm.
And they tasted absolutely delicious. It was probably the best fish I've ever had. The trout and the redfish, delicious.
The trout was the best fish you ever had?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there a better one?
Yes.
Really?
All the above.
Wow. Okay.
Just my opinion.
Right.
So I actually call them fish buds. Everybody has different fish buds based on how they grew up with the fish that they ate. Instead of taste buds, they're fish buds. So I personally, I guess I've ate, yes, there's much better fish in the saltwater. Much better.
Okay. Well, I'm anxious to try them out. I just want to eat fish, man. They love it.
So what is your best fish that you eat? I mean, what do you think's the best fish eating out of the saltwater?
Triple tail, hogfish, snook, porgies, which is not a very sought after fish, but I ate them raw now. I did that for the first time a couple weeks ago. And then I love grunts. Grilled grunt is probably better than grouper or red drum or trout. I love eating grilled grunts.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Wow.
And like I said, I really don't even eat fish that much anymore because I've ate so much fish in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, grilled grunt.
Grilled grunt. Not cobia. You didn't even list cobia up there. I've heard cobia is delicious.
It's a much more dense fish. But yeah, it's good, but not my favorite.
Florida spoiled. All these amazing fish. She's like, it's pretty good. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. Stop it. Eric, I know what you're thinking. Don't even say it. Anyway, Eric, do you have any? We're coming up on an hour and a half. Do you have any other questions for Miss Katie Jo Davis?
No, but I think it was fantastic with her here.
Yeah, this was a blast. She keeps trying to look down my shirt, which I'm going to start blushing pretty soon. She keeps looking up, trying to look down my shirt.
No, I have a monitor and then I have my computer and I was trying to read the chats.
Oh, gotcha.
So, and the chats are like right there. So.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for coming on. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. Eric had a blast. Yep. Not to speak for him, but this was fun. And I definitely want to try to get down there. The scalloping, like I said, was what initially intrigued me about you and your business, and because it's different. To me, it's different. Obviously, a lot of people are doing it down there, but I had never heard of it. And I don't think I would want to go out with anybody other than you. So plan on me booking a trip.
Sounds good. So I'm assuming you guys have heard of iCast and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you ever maybe talk to your sponsors, I don't know if any of them go, but a lot of the guys that are from up north that come down for iCast, they come down, they fish with me, and they scallop with me while they're here at iCast.
Oh, sure.
So, and actually this year, I think I have 5 groups that are doing it. 5 different people, like sponsors or manufacturers or whoever they are, that are going to, and they're all from up north. So they're going scalloping and fishing with me. So if you guys ever go to ICAST, that would be the perfect time, because it's the second week of July or third week of July, and it's always during scallop season. So, and fishing.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That could definitely be something that we could probably work out, Eric, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I'm only I think I'm an hour and 15 minutes from Orlando. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's nothing. Eric drives like twice as far as that to go get skunked on carp.
Wait a minute. Really? Did you just really go there?
Yeah.
All right.
2.5 hours to go sit and watch 2 rods. Sit still.
Well, at least I went fishing. I didn't stay at home because it was too hot.
Too hot, too windy. You can't fish. Can't do it. Speaking of carp, Eric, do you want to give a recap of the carp clash? Because that is now officially over.
Yeah. Luna took first place with 108 pounds. And then, what? I'm trying to remember his name.
Makar.
Makar. Yeah, Makar took second place with, I think, 102 pounds.
He's from Poland.
Yeah, and then Ozzy, he stole third place from me by accident. By accident. All right, 105 pounds. I'm sorry, Joker. All right, so anyway, he stole it from me because he paid me off so I couldn't catch no more fish. But anyway, I think his was 83 pounds and mine was 76 that I come in fourth. So
just short.
Yeah,
good try.
Yeah, I tried.
It wasn't for lack of trying. You were out there all the time, man. You gave it your old call.
Well, I listened to Joker and Ozzy and Buzzard.
That's my first mistake.
That was my first mistake?
Yeah. You had many. That was your first one. I thought so. But we have, so to fill you in, Katie, on Twitch, there is fishing on Twitch.
Joker was in sixth.
There was just a 3-week tournament of, they call it Carp Clash, and it was who can catch the 5 biggest carp in the 3 weeks. And that just ended. And now I think coming up in the next month, there's the 5x5, which is 5 carp and 5 catfish.
Nice.
So that'll be a fun tournament to watch.
Yes, definitely.
And we'll give an update at that point too. But anyhow, we're at the end. So let's thank our sponsors once again. Texas Select Seasonings. Check out Texas Select Seasonings, ! BBQ in chat to get that link. Cast and Camo in all caps for 15% off. Sea Arc Boats. Go check out Sea Arc Boats. Did you say you had a Sea Arc boat at one time, Katie?
I had a Duracraft, which is very similar. Oh no, yes, actually I did have a Sea Arc as well. I sold that about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 2 boats, and that
Katie's all in on the Sea Arcs. They're nice boats.
Mm-hmm.
And Deer 30, ! Deer 30. Cast and Camo 24 to get your 24% off. It's a huge discount. Use it. They're great guys, great products. And that's all we have for this week, folks. And we'll keep, like I said, we'll keep you posted in Discord over this coming week if we're going to have a show next weekend on the holiday or not. Right now, I'm leaning towards not, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Katie, thanks again for joining us. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you, Katie.
You're welcome. Nice meeting you guys.
Same here. All right, we'll talk to you guys